even at this point, with the access or all the access, or as long as we've had access to AI, this new Google AI feels like something that is absolutely top secret. Now, inside of Google Docs, you have the Help Me Write, which is the connection to Gemini. Now, I use ChatGPT for basically everything. It's my preferred AI for generating and creating info products or helping me outline and frame information products that I create. But this idea of creating a Google Doc and now with NotebookLM to create a new notebook, and I'm going to demonstrate this by creating a document inside of Google Docs and then connecting it or uploading the source, because you can drag and drop and choose a file from your computer. So if you already have a file, or if you use a more traditional program-based like Microsoft Word or some type of open office, but you can connect right here or right here inside of Google, because this is tied to your Gmail account or your Google account. You can click Google Docs and you can bring a Google Doc in here, and this changes everything, because now Google is taking this, and I'm going to show you this here in a second, and it's creating a portal into your document, and it's giving you information based upon the key points that it thinks that you need or you should know. So in the world of creating an information product, this, and you could already do this with AI, but this gives you the ability to have an assistant that is pre-programmed to really get to the heart or the root of what your information product is about, what the problem is you're trying to solve. Let me show you what I mean. To do that, I'm going to go back to ChatGPT, and I'm just going to give it a simple prompt here. Create a small report, or create me a small report that takes a complete beginner from no rooftop garden to a complete setup to grow tomatoes. Again, like I always say, the focus isn't on it pushing a button and thinking that this creates an information product that's going to make you rich or that you can sell. It's to give you an outline. It's to give you a plan. It's to give you a place to start instead of looking at the blank screen and just saying, where do I start? But I want to do this because I want to show you, if you were to just take this and you, of course, were to read this and to make sure that it makes sense and is all legit, add your own insights and all that, but how to set up a rooftop garden for growing tomatoes, a beginner's guide, ChatGPT is going to write this. And of course, Google could do this. Like I said, you could go inside of Google Docs and you could do Help Me Write. I just prefer to use ChatGPT, so it's the one I'm going to use. And I really want to show you sort of my thought process, my focus, or the way that I focus on having a system of going to ChatGPT, using it because I like the way it writes. I have specific prompts built in. It has a history with me, yada, yada, right? The idea and the concept of me being focused on creating a product or an information product that I can sell to help people. But I want to focus in on this and go back to and put this into Google Docs, because we're going to go back to this NotebookLM experimental AI that Google has just released recently, or I just found out about recently. And again, it's like it's top secret. It's like they're doing something in a lab that we really should know about, but then they release it and we're just like, wow, or I'm like, wow, anyway. But here, the report has been created. It's 7 steps. I'm just going to copy that, take it back over to Google Docs. I'm going to paste from Markdown, and then it's just instantly going to give me this information product that is basically the shell. And then, of course, I just need to add my own insights and then make sure that it's legit in the way that I am approaching the solution to the problem. But I digress. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save that document. I'm going to let that save. Now that's going to save in the cloud. It's going to save to your drive. But you go back to notebooklm.google.com, and that's all you have to do is go over and just log in with your Google account. And of course, you're already logged into your Google Docs. So all this is readily available, and you just select your Google Drive. It brings up all your documents. And of course, here's my recent document, the one we just created. I'm going to insert that right here into a new notebook. And then here is the power. Here's the magic, the notebook guide. Help me create an FAQ, a study guide, a table of contents, a timeline, a briefing doc. It gives you a summary. It starts suggesting questions. You can also chat here or have a chat with the notebook, and it's tied directly to the information product that you just created, the Google Doc that you just created. So the chat is all about, and you can click here to view the chat. And then when you want to view that chat, you can just start typing, and you're chatting with the NotebookLM, or you're chatting with the Google AI specifically about this information product. So I'll just say, what steps do you think are missing or need more detail? Now, again, it's just going right to the document that we wrote, and it is utilizing its power to say, okay, the source provides a comprehensive guide to set up a rooftop garden. However, some steps could benefit from additional details for clarity. So it's giving you hints on where and how to clarify the document, how to make your information product better. That's just, like I said, it's just amazing. And for me, it's like, wow, you don't want to use the phrase game changer, but, AI and the power where now that, and you could do this with ChatGPT where you could upload a document, but this is just all in one, and it's designed specifically for parsing through this document that you created. And in our case, as information product creators or marketers, we're looking to make this as clear as possible. And now it's giving us resources, and it's linking to that specific document and the things that we need to change right here inside of this notebook. Now, you can close that chat out and you can go back to the notebook guide. And again, you can click here on the FAQ. It's going to generate a note about frequently asked questions around your document. You can go back to the notebook guide, and here's another one. You can create a study guide. And I think this one is very powerful, not just in creating just a plain, or not a plain, but just creating a basic information document where you're just giving information. But here it created the FAQ for you. So you could add this FAQ to your information product, or you could use this to generate content. Then you have here, let's see, it created a quiz, rooftop tomato gardening and studying guide. It created a quiz. So now you can add this quiz to your document, or you could make this a standalone product of its own, or you could add this. You could create these FAQs, you could create these study guides, you could create this quiz people when they buy your information product, do like progress checks or something inside of your information product. And all of this is just generated automatically here, or the suggestions are coming to us automatically here inside of NotebookLM. And it has all these features built in right here inside the notebook guide to include that you're chatting, or you have the power to chat with Google AI and be focused and maintain your focus just on that document. And like I said, you could do this with ChatGPT. And I know I've uploaded documents and sort of done the same thing myself, but really this brings the focus back into just having it all inside of one tool. But the real power and the real mind-blowing thing inside of NotebookLM is this right here. Deep dive conversation from two hosts. Audio overviews are lively deep dive discussions that summarize the key topics in your sources. And this is just not them reading it. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to click generate, and this is going to take a few minutes. So when that generates, I'm going to play you a little bit of that because, well, the last time I did this, it was about 10 minutes, but depending on the length of your document, and when you hear this, you're going to be like, these are like real people having a conversation based upon the information in my information product. So you could take this, and I don't think that, and I've seen some people say that you could turn this into like a podcast or create videos, possibly create videos, but to fake a podcast doesn't seem like, it's not something I would do. It doesn't seem legit to me to make it sound like this is actually two people talking. But what you could do is you could take this conversation that you're going to hear, you can get different ideas, because this is actually going to discuss what is in the information product. They are actually going to talk about rooftop tomato gardening and the study guide that we created here. They're going to have a conversation about it. You're going to hear it. And then the transcript of this, or just listening to this conversation, gives you an additional layer of stepping back and saying, yeah, what else do I need to address inside of this problem or this solution to this problem? What else do I need to address? And as you listen to this conversation, you're going to be like, things are going to start clicking. You're going to be like, oh yeah, I could cover that. What they're talking about here, it's a different angle. It's a different thing. It's a different perspective from these two people, all right? The AI that's having this conversation, because it's actually taken the time. It has the power and the ability to read the information product and then have a conversation about it like you would have with another person. Or if you were to give your information product, or if two people bought your product and they were discussing how powerful it was and how good the solution was, they were discussing this and you were able to tap into that or interview them or see someone review your product, then now you have that instantly. It's like a good way to look at it is a product review. It's like someone has actually reviewed your product and they're talking about the pros, the cons, and the things it's actually going to help you do. and it's going to generate that. It's still generating, so I'm going to go ahead and pause, and I'm going to come back and play this for you. So that's still generating. It takes 3, 4, maybe 5 minutes. And what I was thinking was, or what I wanted to do, I missed the briefing doc that I wanted to show you. The timeline, not so much. The table of contents, not great, but you should click on all these. But the briefing doc, once you click on the briefing doc and then you open that up, you have a theme and the key points and the facts. It's another way. And again, it's the power of AI, the way it lays these things out. And again, all the large language models that are available right now, the chats, allow you to do this, but you sort of have to get there, right? You have to give it input to get the output. Here, this is kind of doing it for you, if you will. It literally is becoming, or it's giving you the ability, once you create an information product, and I'm looking at it through that lens of trying to come up with a solution for a problem, and then this helping us look at it and say, look, these are the things that you need to make sure that you're covering, and this is your main theme, so let's make sure we're staying on point. Setting up and maintaining successful rooftop gardening for growing tomatoes, even as a beginner, planning and preparation, and then even added a quote here: ensure your rooftop can bear the weight of containers, soil, plants, and water if necessary. Consultant engineer or building manager. So check this out. Look at this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this because I don't believe, or let's see if that's in our document. Is that in our document? We'll go ahead and find it. And it is. So again, it gives you this way, because here it's like planning and preparation, check weight and water capacity. And it's talking about the rooftop structure, but this is giving you a quote. It's giving a quote, or it's giving you a summary real quickly. So it breaks it down for you. And you're going to say, how important is that? Is that the most important thing? Do I need to make sure that I really emphasize that like they've done here? They pulled this quote out because they're thinking, or in my mind now that I read that, I'm like, yeah, that's probably really important. And that's how powerful this is. And that's what I'm saying. This changes the game for us as information product creators, because it lets us not have to do all the brainstorming by ourselves and then come up with these inputs to ChatGPT or any other AI like Google AI, and then try to figure out what it is we need to pull out to make important. When it's giving me these quotes like this, I need to make sure that I focus in and make sure that they understand that they must ensure that their rooftop can bear the weight of the container, soil, plants, and water, right? So super powerful. And while we were doing that, while we were talking, you could see here that the Untitled Notebook, or the audio overview, has finished. It is 11 minutes and 35 seconds, which is pretty good, because what is this? How many pages is this? This is only a 4-page document. So let's go ahead, and I don't know if we're going to listen to all of it, but once you hear it, you're going to be like, well, let me go ahead and listen to all of it. So I'm going to go ahead and press play and just sit back and just really focus on what this is talking about. Now, of course, you could go through this and understand that we're talking about step 1, planning and preparation, and we looked at that, how important that checking weight and water capacity was from that quote that we got. But we're talking about planning and preparation. We're talking about choosing the right containers and soil, selecting and planting tomato varieties, providing support and care, managing pest and disease, harvesting your tomatoes, maintaining your garden year-round, some additional tips, and then a conclusion here. And again, this is only 4 pages and 7 steps, but now we have a conversation that's about to start here between 2 people talking about the information product, the solution to the problem that we've created. Let's go ahead and give it a listen.
Rooftop tomatoes, huh? That's quite the ambition. I love it. There really is something special about growing your own food, right? And to be able to just pop up to your roof and grab a tomato still warm from the sun, that's the dream. So you sent over this awesome beginner's guide to rooftop tomato gardening, and, well, let's just say it's got us feeling inspired.
Yeah, it's really thorough. You know what struck me? It doesn't just dive right into the fun stuff like picking out your perfect tomato. It starts with like a rooftop reality check. And I got to admit, that's smart.
Oh, absolutely. It's easy to get ahead of yourself and just picture that delicious tomato harvest. But safety first, am I right?
100%. So first things first, weight. Got to think about that. All those tomato plants, their containers, the soil, that adds up fast. We don't want to turn anyone's roof into like a tomato sinkhole.
Yeah, a collapsed roof would really put a dent in your tomato growing plans. Speaking of which, water on a rooftop, that's a whole other...
Wow. I'm telling you, you just want to sit and listen to this, and it's like really bringing it home to what you've created, you know, and we didn't even really create anything. We just let the AI do it. But how powerful is that as an information product creator? Just to listen to that for just go back. We listened to it not even 1 minute there together. But test this out. Try it for yourself. Let me know in the comments how this is going to help you. I know how it's going to help me. I shared a few of those insights here in the video, but just sitting back and listening to this conversation, that's 1 minute. We got, 10 minutes and 35 seconds left of that to really listen to these two people. Like, it sounds like they're real people having a real conversation about the solution that you created, your information product. And that's invaluable. That is a game changer right there. It changes how you create an information product in my mind. And I'm definitely going to be using this going forward to include the briefing doc, the FAQ, and the study guide, being able to incorporate that into my products as I create them by taking the information that NotebookLM here is pulling out for me and then giving me that insight. Again, just absolutely. But listen to that audio overview. Just wow. Check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.